We could do like the theme song.
Welcome back. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Watching Movies. It's been, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months since we've done.
I think maybe 1 or 2.
1 or 2 months.
Yeah, I
since
think
we've
3 or
done
4
it.
is cutting it.
Definitely slacking though.
Yeah.
And if you notice, we have someone new joining us, and this is my friend, or our friend, my friend, his cousin.
Yep.
They're not friends.
We hate each other,
Yeah,
actually.
I don't know why he's here. I'm a little bit angry right now.
I'm gonna fight you after this.
But yeah, so we're actually back. We thought this would be a really cool chance to get back into doing show because we're reviewing the Avengers, which is the first big blockbuster of the year. And it really is one of the big reasons why we started doing the show in the first place. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Chris, what did you...
I thought,
like it?
Yeah, I thought this movie was pretty amazing. I mean, clearly, I think this is the film that like all the Marvel nerds, me included, have been waiting for. You know,
Yeah.
Like this is the film. This is like a lot due in part, I think, to Joss Whedon, who is someone I like to reference quite a bit. I think in the past few shows that we've done, I've mentioned his name quite a bit,
Multiple times.
And now I think Joss has, like, he's now the king of the nerds. I think the title has to go to Joss Whedon for that.
He definitely has the finger in the nerd pulse.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he just gets it, that guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
just
got it.
everything he touches just becomes gold, in my opinion.
So you liked it?
Yeah,
I like
I would go into the realm of loving it. I would say I
Oh.
loved it. Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
no Jar Jar Binks is in the movie.
No.
Which, by the way, is our new rating system.
Yes.
If it gets a Jar Jar Binks head, then it's bad. If it gets 0 or even negative, then that's good.
Yeah.
Negative Jar Jar
That
Binks
makes
is...
it good.
No, okay, so... Matt, are there any Jar Jar Binkses in this movie?
Absolutely not. I can give it like -5. Almost like reverse. Like 5 being the most Jar Jar Binks heads, it would be bad. So I give it like reverse. It's almost perfect as far as like what I want in a fun popcorn, summer film. It's funny. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of heart to it. It's everything that a Marvel fanboy like Chris and myself grew up wanting. So.
I think with this, it's very interesting because with the Marvel films, it seems to be a lot lighter affair.
Yeah, definitely.
With Iron Man as compared to like Batman and stuff like that, it's a lot lighter. It's a little bit more fun, more family friendly stuff. So.
Yeah.
Right.
I completely agree. There are no Jar Jar Binkses in this movie.
Thank God.
I mean, I've already seen the movie twice, so there are stuff that I dislike just because I could see like the slips in some acting, and there's some stuff I really kind of was like, you have to do it like that, but it's fine. It's like, I wouldn't say replacing every actor in it with like a Liam Neeson instead of like if you took Star Wars Episode 1 and replaced everyone with Liam Neeson, that would be like say like The Dark Knight. That's what that is. This one you're like replacing.
Much more interesting
You're replacing all of them with like Natalie Portman. Like it's a beautiful movie. Like and it's so much fun and it's fun to look at. Like it's a good movie. So
spoiler alert: no Natalie Portman's in this film though. So.
Oh, I forget. Yeah, I completely forgot.
Yeah,
see a picture
they kind of wrote her off in that a little bit. They were like, oh hey, she's in the film.
She's somewhere,
yeah.
like she's doing work somewhere.
Away.
Which is fine because obviously she's going to be in the next Thor. So
fingers crossed.
Which, hopefully, it's like no Thor dies, so there's not going to be another Thor movie.
Ruin that.
If you believe that, you shouldn't be watching.
Sorry,
right.
You're an idiot. Sorry.
What do you think the standouts were in this one?
Oh gosh, dude,
Do you think everybody just kind of
that's the hardest thing about this show or this movie? I think is that, and what was the challenge for Joss was there's so many huge characters in this movie that you're worried that they're not going to get their due. And I think if anyone gets the cold shoulder, it's Hawkeye. But still, at points, he's just like, he is awesome. But I think when you walk away from the movie, everyone wants to be Iron Man. Everyone wants to be Tony Stark.
He's most charismatic.
Hulk steals the show easily.
I think like everybody got at least 2 or 3 like pretty fantastic one-liners that I think anybody could quote or just I laughed hysterically at. So.
No doubt. It might be the most quotable movie of the summer. It's kind of like what Anchorman and Hangover were for years past. Not saying that it's that funny, but it's still really funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like you're laughing throughout. You're not like about to pee yourself laughing throughout, but they're solid. And then whenever the really heavy laughs come, they're better than just about any laugh I've ever had in a superhero movie ever.
Agreed.
One person that I'm afraid isn't going to get enough credit is Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Who was Loki in the film.
He was actually pretty fantastic, yeah.
That guy, I think, I saw him in War Horse, which everybody's like, oh, War Horse. War Horse. He steals the show and everything that he's in.
Yeah.
So, like, in this movie, I mean, clearly there's a much larger cast, and I think everybody gets a little bit more play as superheroes. But him as a villain, he gives it a lot of humanity, and I thought was very interesting, like, the twists and turns that he got as a character. So.
Definitely. Who's your favorite character from the show?
I love Captain America just because I'm such a Boy Scout when it comes to it, but
you're a literal Boy Scout.
Literally, yeah. I only made it a star though, so don't let it against me. But I think everyone was pretty fantastic, even like the more secondary characters. Black Widow, that's not a household name, but Scarlett Johansson did a good job.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that she was as good as the other ones because sometimes she was a little too, and maybe it was just her character, but pretty stoic.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And Mark Ruffalo was a pretty surprise treat because I didn't want him to be the Hulk. I wanted Edward Norton. I thought he did a great job.
Edward Norton, I thought was kind of...
What are you doing, Mark?
Yeah. Get out of my movie.
I had this idea going into it, and you shouldn't have a preconceived notion going into movies. You should just go in there and, be open-minded. But I thought he was going to be serviceable, but I didn't think he was going to be good. And I think he did a good job. I still think, no offense to old Mark, the roughster, but I think that Edward would have been a lot better still. Every line I was like, oh, that was good, but Edward would have been better.
Well, I can easily see this being... when we went, we saw there was a whole bunch of kids behind us.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about those kids, and oh my gosh, this is going to be your favorite movie growing up, ever. Like this is going to be their Star Wars growing up. Because like obviously the Star Wars they had weren't good Star Wars films, so they're going to put that.
Get that experience.
Yeah, so they got this, which is going to be cool because like I remember when like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers came out.
Yeah.
The cool thing about playing pretend with your friends was everyone got to choose the one that they wanted to be.
Right, yeah.
It was like, I like being the Red Ranger. No, I like being the Green Ranger or the White one, whichever, what season it is. And so your kids are going to be able to have that, you know what I mean? Like, kids are going to want to be Captain. Kids are going to want to be Iron Man.
Yeah.
The fat kid's going to always end up being the Hulk, which I'm sorry, fat kid. I know how that feels. But
you didn't get to be like Black Widow? Or?
I couldn't be Black Widow. It sucked. I mean, I got the lips, but...
Right, yeah. And the hair.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think everything was fine. Like, not fine. It was great, but and also you had all those movies that built up to it, and I didn't even realize that How I Met Your Mother was one of those things.
Oh yeah, Colby Smulders. Yeah,
it's kind of hard to not picture her as Robin just yelling at Samuel L. Jackson.
For Ted to jump out and say something.
So I love you.
Yeah, or
stop.
Or Jason Segel to say something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I will say this though too. I just said Samuel L. Jackson. I absolutely love when they let Sam be Sam. Like. There's like 2 or 3 moments where he just is himself.
He didn't get to say the F word. Like, he didn't get to drop the F bomb like he usually does.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure if like you see him in the background out of focus, he's just
like that'll be like the uncut, unrated version that they're gonna save.
Director's cut.
Yeah.
You don't want this to be the end of all those other movies, which is going to be really hard, I think, to go into an Iron Man or go into a Captain America without those other characters in it. Like, it's just, I'm afraid those movies from now on are going to feel kind of lacking because of this movie.
I'm sure they'll have characters kind of pop in and out.
Surely.
I would hope so. I'm not totally sure. So.
Yeah. I was about to say something, but it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to.
I know, that's the exact same thought that I would love for other characters to be in the movies, but this is actually the one out of all those movies that I enjoyed. I thought that Iron Man was, for the longest time, the best Marvel movie. And now I think this is actually better. I think it's the best one. It's the most enjoyable, superhero movie I think I've seen ever. Dark Knight, I've considered that to be the greatest work of art. And as much as I love that film, it's still it's too gritty. Not too gritty to enjoy, but it's not as much fun. This is just fun, and it's the right balance of everything you want it to be for a comic book film. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it doesn't need to.
Yeah, I feel like at points it almost gets kind of meta at some.
Yeah. It's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. I thought that was fantastic.
Well, it helps you feel, compared to The Dark Knight and Batman Begins and the coming Dark Knight Rises, which are all going to be and going to be and have been great films.
True.
This is more of kind of a feel of why you got into comic book characters in the first place. It's because it's just the fantastical part of it, and it makes you feel like a kid watching this movie again. You're just smiling, and it's the best like fan service film I've ever seen. Period.
Yeah.
Just there's one part, and it's not going to give anything away, but like they're all fighting, and Iron Man shoots his whatever crap laser or whatever into Captain America's shield, and it bounces off and hits people.
Oh yeah.
I'm a huge Ultimate Alliance fan, and that's one of the special moves in there. And that moment happens like for half a second in the movie.
It never happened. It happens once in the film.
Never again.
Yeah.
And it happened, and I started cheering just for that part.
Right.
Like, and then like you hear other people who've played the game in the background like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, just the whole time.
I mean, I could go on and on about how good it was. I mean, like I said, there were bits of acting that I kind of hated, but it's a fun movie. It's not going to take away from the experience. And then it's like, I feel Michael Bay should take a lesson from this.
That's what I want to say. Michael Bay definitely has his defenders. Like, oh, well, you know, it's just like a stupid, fun action movie. It's like, well, no, go see the Avengers as compared to like Transformers 2. Which is like the worst piece of crap I've ever seen on film.
300 Jar Jar Binkses.
Yeah. Infinity. So.
Infinity Jar Jar Binks.
But yeah, I mean, like, as far as like, you know, with a budget like that, you expect something much more than just service. And
I agree.
You know, that's what we got.
And yeah, it's a solid story. I mean, it's not nothing uber like substantial, and you know, it's nothing that you're going to be like. The story's not going to blow you away or anything, but it works, and you care about these characters, unlike Transformers. Sorry, some of our friends that absolutely love that movie, but actually I don't apologize.
And I mean, like, I was worried going in that not everybody would get equal play, but I felt like they did a really good job of spreading that out through the film, so that's pretty exciting.
It easily could have been like another Iron Man movie. Easily could have been Iron Man 3.
Which, that's what I was worried it was going to be. It would just be Robert Downey Jr. spitting out one-liners the entire time.
Well, he does kind of steal the show when it comes to the comedy, minus a couple of moments at the end. He doesn't get it. But speaking of, and I think I'm done talking about it after this, but stay through every little bit of credit you see.
There's two credit sequences, and the last one is just hilarious.
The last one is more of a service to people who actually decide to stay throughout the credits.
Yeah,
it's like a little gift to those people. And
it's like a cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry.
On top of another cherry, and then
a bowl of ice cream,
and then a diamond sitting on top. Just so it's good. You're full, and then you also make money.
I guess.
No.
Yeah,
I do.
That almost.
He made money off of Avengers. Somehow he made a bet. But
good job.
Good job, dude. But well, I mean, rating. Kidding about the Jar Jar Binkses, they're not really our solid rating. Yeah. Our rating is skip it, rent it, see it, right? And so skip it obviously means don't ever watch it.
Yeah.
Rent it being don't spend the money to go to the theater or buy it.
Yeah. Or the gas.
And then see it is see it now. Yeah. So, but Chris, what would you?
I would say definitely go out and see it. I think it's worth it. I don't know if the 3D is worth it. I'm still mixed on the whole 3D thing. So I would say definitely see it. Yeah. Regardless, just however you can. So.
Yeah.
I'd say see it, and if you get a chance, see it in IMAX. I didn't have that opportunity to. This guy did.
Yeah.
And it's really, I'm sure it's awesome.
Well, it's not really shot in IMAX, so you don't ever get the full IMAX experience, but the theater was already better, and then the image was bigger.
That's what I'm going for.
But yeah,
bigger's better.
Which is weird, because actually, the IMAX 3D, with the screen being so big, there was almost too much to take in, like with the 3D, and that's what I'm trying to think of this, but with here at home with our screen being a little bit smaller, I can see the full image and it's not hard. At the IMAX theater, I'm sitting here and then I have to look and then change my focus on something over here, like Wise 4 over here hanging upside down or something. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, I would definitely say see it, especially if you liked any of the Marvel movies before this. But I would say go see those movies before you see this.
Watch at least the first one. You don't have to go into sequels.
It makes it so much better, I feel like. That's it for today's episode. We're back watching movies, and we'll see you around. Don't watch Transformers.
Well, just the second one. So.